And we're live. Welcome to the first episode of the Truth Comes to Light podcast, where everything done in the dark comes to light. Every detail in this world will come to light. I'm your host, Jay Colvin, and welcome to the first of many podcast episodes on the YouTube channel and TikTok and Instagram, wherever all social media platforms I will get to. That is where I'm going to be posting, and I will keep y'all guys updated on the whole process, and I want y'all to be here for the whole ride from start to finish. And I'm really excited about this. This is the first time that I've actually came up with an idea myself that I actually just will feel like that I just love doing. Like, I'm not a creative person, so the fact that I just sat down and I was like, I'm a talkative person. People tell me that I'm a talkative person, and people tell me I should try something in regards to talking. So I was like, let me just start off a podcast. So I just one day just came up with the idea on starting a podcast, and here we are now. And I really appreciate the support that I got on the snippet, on the short that I had posted on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I really appreciate everything. That's just going to make me consistently grind and consistently go harder and harder every single video for y'all. With that, I have a whole lot of topics that I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about the music industry. We're going to be talking about all sorts of news from across the world. And be sure to stay tuned for Wednesdays, because every Wednesday I'm going to be posting my Real Spill Wednesdays, which is about life topics and motivation topics that anybody, any audience can hear what I have to say and have their opinion on it. Just agree to disagree on what I say. And I really hope that this whole platform and my real spills can get to y'all in a positive way. I really hope that it can kind of change how y'all think and change just y'all perception on me as a person. If it doesn't, that's okay. But like I said, we can agree to disagree to certain things. I don't believe that I'm going to be right in certain occasions, just like sometimes I'm going to agree that I am right. It's just, all of this is opinionated. I just feel like I need to have a voice in this world. So with me creating this platform, Truth Comes to Light, it gives me that voice in the world for y'all to hear. And I feel like just for y'all have a voice. So utilize it in the best way possible. So with that being said, let's get straight into the podcast. I have 3 main topics that I want to talk about. We're going to dive into the music industry. A couple of artists have dropped albums. So the first artist that I'm going to talk about is Mobile native, Mobile, Alabama native, where I'm from. He signed to Lil Baby's 4PF record label. Rylo Rodriguez hasn't dropped an album in over 3 years. Drops his highly anticipated album, Been One. And ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you, and I might be a biased opinion, I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that brother went 19 for 19, my brother. When I tell you every single song just hit, it just hits. If you like No Cap, if you like Big Yavo, who's in Alabama, or if you like any mainstream artist that has lyrics and punchlines, I feel like you can get into Rylo. Now, see, one thing with him, his voice, some people may not be able to get into. But if you actually sit back and listen to what he actually says, I promise you, you will not be disappointed with his work. Some of the songs on his album that I liked is Unfuckwittable, Thing For You, which is the first song that dropped from the album featuring No Cap, the 2 Mobile natives. And that song goes hard. I fuck with You'll Find You the One, and those songs, to say the least. And he has some other ones like System, Leaks, and a whole lot more. It's a very diverse album, and for him to drop an album, and he hasn't dropped one in 3 years, he sold 35K. And where he is in regards to the rap game, I feel like 35K is a great number for him. He dropped multiple EPs, but he never really dropped that album until 2020 when he dropped Go in Human Form. And then now, 3 years later, he dropped Ben 1. One of the lyrics, for an example, when it comes to hard lyrics, to say the least, I'm going to just give you one. In Unfuckable, he says, I feel like I'm Travis Scott. I'm piping up my colleague. Like my colleague. You feel what I'm saying? That's just one of them, to say the least. And there's actually a song on TikTok by him that is just been blowing up on TikTok, the Equal Dirt, where they talk about the condom and who this for or whatever. Like, it's really blowing up. And for me, as a Mobile, Alabama native, that's where I'm from, and to see him actually getting the recognition to which I feel like he needs, is really good. This is like a stepping stone in the right direction. You just, like I said, you just got to just stay consistent in whatever you do. But compared to other artists, is like his punchline game and his lyric game, if you actually sit down and just take the time to, just like with any song, if you just sit down and just listen to what he is saying, you'll get some bars. You will get some bars. People love, and Mobile will love his songs. People love Rylo Rodriguez. People love No Cap. I'll give you a couple of songs from other albums. Rylo Rodriguez has a song called Body for Body. He has another song called With Me. Like, he just has a whole lot of diverse songs. He has another song with Lil Baby and Moneybagg Yo. Like, he has a whole lot of different songs, different diverse songs in his catalog. He's not just one of those artists that only talks about shooting or just drinking lean or just whatever. You know, he does beat, you know what I'm saying? He drinks a whole lot of that, but that's not the point here. The point is good music. Good music has a theme. It has punchlines after punchlines after punchlines. Something that actually means something. And I feel like Rylo and No Cap, them two together, they don't miss. They're basically the same when it comes to lyrics, punchlines, and delivery. They're going to deliver the same way. So if you like No Cap, or if you like any rapper in the industry that just has good punchline, if you're looking for lyrics, he will give you the lyrics. He will deliver every single time. And that's the thing. Like, most people in the, I'm not even gonna say most people, some people in the rap game, like, you're just going to, it's just mumble rap. You just don't really understand what you're saying. It's only a handful of artists in the rap industry that actually are lyricists. They'll actually say something that makes sense. Like, don't no one want to just hear about killing all the time in their songs. Like, you got to be diverse. You got to be diverse in every single song. So he has a love song, Thing for You, in the album. He has just hype songs like Real Type featuring Lil Baby on that. He has just a diverse catalog, and I feel like since it took him 3 years for him to drop the album, it made him think about what songs to put on the album so that way the album flows. Your album has to flow from top to bottom. Like, it just has to be fluent. You don't want to have a album that just, it's stagnant. It just talks about the same exact thing over and over and over again. You gotta make it diverse. Make some about love, some about hype, some about just anything, but you want to keep it diverse. You don't want the same trend album, because it's just, you're gonna get bored of it. You're just gonna get tired of the whole situation, and that's not what you want. So for him to after not dropping for 3 years, sell 35K. It shows his core fan base is really there, and it just shows that if he drops the next album, I feel like it'll go up. I feel like his sales will go up to maybe 45,000, maybe 50,000. But you got to stay consistent with it. And like I said, with Rylo Rodriguez, if you are into lyrics, hard punchlines, he will deliver that to you every single time. Now, another artist that dropped that same day, and it kind of overshadowed Rylo Rodriguez to some extent because of how big he is in the rap industry, is Lil Uzi Vert. Now, Lil Uzi Vert came in, had all types of leaks and snippets for the pink tape. He's teasing about the pink tape dropping this date, this time it's dropping this year, and he never dropped it. Well, finally he dropped it after years of waiting, after Eternal Take drop, which for that album he teased everybody, and he finally dropped it, and sure enough, it had over 300K first week. Now that is crazy. Let's keep it real. That is crazy. 300 first week. And years later, now he comes back and drops the pink tape, and it sells 165K first week. Now, it's the highest selling rap album right now, and it's the first rap album in a little minute that has went number one. Mostly it's been all types of different genres. You had SZA with the number one album, like Taylor Swift with the number one album, but before then, like, it's just been none but those genres. It hasn't been the rap album. So for a moment, was the rap genre falling down a little bit? Uzi said Nas, and he dropped his album, and it sold 165K first week. Experimental album. He had songs on there where you didn't know what he was saying. It was just some experimenting stuff. So the fact that it was an experimental album, quote unquote, on what Lil Uzi said, that it was an experimental album, and it drops and it sells 165K first week, is great. And he's also trying to say if he drops this album and it goes number one, he's gonna drop Love Is Rage 3. But we all know Lil Uzi is just a little troll. I don't think he gonna be for real and actually drop the album. Now see, if he does drop the album, he gonna catch everybody by surprise. But I think more people are on the fact that he's just actually just talking and just not gonna actually drop the album. But 165K first week, and songs like Flooded the Face, Endless Motion, Just Wanna Rock, who had the whole TikTok world and the whole world in a chokehold for months, was on Billboard Top 100 for damn near like a year. Like, it was crazy. Like, TikTok dance after TikTok dance coming up because of Just Wanna Rock. Like, that song right there had the whole world in chokehold, which really made everybody want that pink tape to come. Everybody asking, hey, where's the pink tape? Where's the pink tape? Where's the pink tape? So when it finally drops and it has Just Wanna Rock, all that attention came to that album. So for him to sell 165K with those songs on there, along with experimental songs on there, is really good. I don't think it's a L in my opinion. This a W for an experimental album. You gotta think, y'all. Anytime an artist tries something, it could go either one or two ways. It doesn't matter if you're big or small. Drake dropping Honestly Nevermind. Even though it's Drake and he dropped the experimental album, Honestly Nevermind, a dance album, still did good. You still having Jimmy Cooks played. You have just experimental albums. Lil Baby dropping experimental albums when he is at the bottom. You gotta experiment something to see what your fan base likes. See what your fan base is truly going to rock for you for. Are they gonna rock for you for speed rap, just killing, talking about love, if that's gonna be your main thing, melodic rap. Like, you gotta find a balance. You gotta find what your fan base is gonna like. And once you find your fan base, now obviously you could change it up to try and gain more fans on what you would like your old fans or your new fans to hear, so that way you just find a balance. But you gotta experiment with the album. So him saying that he experimented on there, you got some people that's gonna have mixed opinions about it. People are gonna say, oh, this is trash, you should not have never dropped it at all, you should have kept that in the vault. Then you got some that's gonna actually like it. You don't know until you actually try. So I feel like with him actually trying, and it goes 165K first week, the #1 rap album out there right now, sales wise, and probably won't get topped until Travis Scott drops Utopia. If he drops Utopia, then I believe that it will be trumped, his 165K. But until Travis Scott drops his album, I don't think anybody in the rap game is going to reach his 165K first week album, because everybody's first week sales in the rap industry has been low this year. So the fact that he's the highest and he was the first artist, especially this year, to reach the #1 album in the rap game and out right now, sales wise, like that's good. And I feel like just with Uzi, like Uzi just started a wave. Uzi since 2016 has just started this wave. Him and Cardi have started their own wave, so he's just like the king of his wave. So since he's the king of it, I mean, everybody is going to want to listen to him. Everybody under him their fans are going to want to listen to what Lil Uzi Vert got to say. One of my favorite songs on there, though, I will say, is The Endless Motion with Nicki Minaj. It seemed like him and Nicki Minaj do not miss. That song didn't miss. The Way Life Goes, that song didn't miss. Clearly that song didn't miss, because that song was just on charts and everybody was talking about that song. Him and Nicki Minaj do not miss. Like, that's just the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, like, for real. Like, they just don't miss. So obviously that Nicki Minaj brought more people to listen to his album for the female game, the female rap game. All those female artists and all listeners that listen to Nicki Minaj that are females brought them to listen to the Pink Tape, because they want to hear what Nicki got to say. And Nicki was spitting. Spitting bars, big bars. Like, she held her own on the song. In my opinion, I feel like she did better than Uzi on Endless Motion. She was just talking. When I tell you, she was talking her shit. Like, the shit was hard. So, and he didn't really have that many big name features on there. It was really just Nicki Minaj as the big name feature on there. The big name, no feature on the song, so, and on the album. So, I mean, with that, it just brought a whole different fan base to the album, along with what Uzi has. So it just made the album great. I think it was a good to great album. Is it where Eternal Atake is? Nah, I don't think it's on Eternal Atake's level. I don't think it's on Love is Rage level. I don't think it's on none of those levels. I think it's actually the worst album he dropped amongst his last 3 projects. I think it was his worst one. But you got to take into consideration that it is an experimental album. So the fact that any experimental album, you got to take that into consideration. Like, it might not be his hardest. He's just going to try something to see how it goes. And for it to be an experimental album and it sold 165K and it's number one, you got to take it as a W, especially with rap not having a number one album in months, like literally months. Everybody else, like I said, Taylor Swift and SZA has taken that number one spot. No rap album has taken the number one spot. So I feel like that was just a W. Last thing I do want to talk about. Now, see, I don't know how to feel about him. I want to know how y'all feel about him. Lil Baby. Is Lil Baby ever going to reach that same level that he was when he dropped My Turn? Or is he going to keep on falling down? Because he was up. When My Turn came out in 2020, top. He was at his top. That was his peak. That was top, prime, hard Baby. Then he comes back and drops It's Only Me, which went gold in a month. You gotta respect that. But has it been getting the same replay value? Tell me, when was the last time you went to go listen to It's Only Me? Because I can't tell you when was the last time I listened to It's Only Me. And I'm pretty sure other fans, it's been a little minute for them to tell me when they listen to It's Only Me. If they do listen to Lil Baby, they're going to go back and listen to that My Turn, because that My Turn was at its top. It's like when he dropped It's Only Me, it went down. He went from up here to up here. It went down. And not the first week numbers. They don't really show that as much because it went gold. But all the numbers after that, it shows. It just shows that it didn't necessarily have no replay value. So Lil Baby drops a song yesterday called Merch Madness, a part of the Fanatics partnership, and mainly about the kids and letting them know that they can just be something, be one. You can find whatever you want to do. You don't gotta be this big famous person to make it out and just be something in life, because that's how it was a Lil Baby. He had to figure out who he wanted to be in life, and he chose to be a rapper. But it's bigger. You don't got to be a rapper. You don't got to be a D1 player. That's exactly what he said. He said in Merch Madness, let the kids know that they can be lawyers, doctors, authors. You don't got to rap or make it D1. So with this song that he dropped, Merch Madness, it has a message to it, to the kids, that you can be something. You just got to find what you got. And the fact that he mentions that, and that is the theme of his album, not the album, I said the album, the song, I like it. I like the song that he dropped. I really like the message that it gave out. He didn't even curse in the song, not one time. And that's been the little trend with Lil Baby. Lil Baby has been dropping songs, but they're more so messages towards him. He doesn't curse as much. Most of his songs have been strictly, it has a message behind it. It has a message between every single song that he has been dropping. For an example, The Bigger Picture, it had a message towards it. A big message because of what was going on in the world with the whole Black Lives Matter situation and the police brutality like the George Floyd situation. Like, it had a message. When is everything going to stop? And that's been the trend. That's one thing I can't say with Baby. That has been the trend with him. All of his songs that he has been dropping, they have a message towards it. With this Merch Madness, like I said, it's towards the kids. This was for the kids. Whoa, for an example, another example, that was towards the kids. The whole music video was kids in the video. It was a kid's song. It was meant for the kids. So with that, him dropping Merch Madness, it has a message, and I really liked how it came out. I really liked the song. It has some replay value to it. It is kind of catchy to it. I think y'all should go check it out and tell me how y'all feel about it. But even with him dropping this song, I have a question for y'all. With him dropping this song, do y'all personally think that he will ever get back to My Turn, Lil Baby? Or do you think My Turn was the peak and it will constantly go down? Because his views say otherwise. His views were saying that he was going down. After My Turn dropped and It's Only Me dropped and there was no replay value, he only had 2 songs in the top Billboard 100. He only had 2 songs, and it was like that for months. And within 4 weeks, when he did drop the album and all the songs were on Billboard, within 4 weeks, his songs were gone. Mind you, Metro Boomin dropped that same around that same time, and his songs are still on Billboard. Superhero, the song with The Weeknd and 21 Savage, that song is still on billboards. But Lil Baby, all his songs except for 2 of them are not on billboards. I don't even think his songs right now are even on Billboard. So it's like, do I personally think that he can get back to that this My Turn, Little Baby? To be honest, I don't know. I don't think he can. He has the potential, but because it's Little Baby, but I don't think he can reach that It's Only Me status. I just can't see it. That, you gotta remember, that album was like number 1 selling global album, selling global for the BET. This was the same album that was getting played at the BET Awards. That should have got nominated for a Grammy as one of the best albums. You gotta remember that is important. That is huge. That is a huge step. The fact that you made it that far, it's gonna be hard to make something as great as that album is, because numbers say otherwise. Numbers says that album is one of the best albums that has ever dropped for a rapper. Like, it was that hard. So I don't know. I feel like it's hard to reach that status of an album. But however, you can't go from a highly status album to an album that just doesn't hit, and you try and compare the two and they just don't even compare to each other. You can't take that big of a step. When Drake drops an album, every single album is either the same in regards to the status and where it hits as an album, or it may be a little bit worse than an album. But you'll never have a Drake album where all the songs is fucking trash, and the last album that he dropped, every single song were bangers. Every single time Drake drops, Travis Scott drops, any one of those artists, they're going to have multiple songs in that album that have replay value. A whole lot of replay value. It's not just a little replay value to where it just goes away in months. No, they have months and months and months. You'll hear that song on the radio for months, to the point to where you get tired of it. But that gives you the good replay value in the album. So do I feel like Little Baby is going to reach that status of an album ever again? I don't think he can, but it's just a matter of how worse is your album going to be compared to My Turn. Because when people think of Lil Baby and albums, that is the first album that they're going to think of. They're going to compare every single one of your albums to My Turn, Dominique. They're comparing every single one of your albums now, from now on, to My Turn or to Street Gossip. They're going to. So what you got to do, you got to have some album, some songs in the vote that we don't know about, because some of your songs been getting leaked and they've been hard, and I feel bad for you, my brother. But you got to have some songs in that vote that you can pull out that no one has heard of, and those songs can equivalent to the status of that album or somewhere close. Because It's Only Me wasn't even better than The Voice of the Heroes with you and Dirk. Nowhere near. Everybody would pick Voice of the Heroes over that. And you did better than Dirk. If we're just talking about strictly your verses, I will take every one of your verses on The Voice of the Heroes versus It's Only Me. You had good songs on It's Only Me. You had Pop Out. You had Real Spill. You had California Breeze. But are those songs, you had Forever, but are those songs Lil Baby top tier Lil Baby? Nah, they hard, but it don't got the little replay value that it needs. And with you being one of the top artists, rap artists in the game, you gotta have some sort of album or some songs in the vote that we've never heard of that can at least try and be on not even the same level, just a step below It's Only Me. Because I personally don't think you could reach that. I don't, Dominique. I just don't. Maybe your fans do. I'm one of your fans, and I'm not saying that I'm not. But if I have to be honest, if I have to be genuinely honest, I don't think that it can, because that's just too, that album is just too high of a status to do again. Now see, if you do it again, all on you, my brother. Like, and I really appreciate, all your fans would appreciate it. You gotta prove people wrong. I'm not saying that It's Only Me was not good. I'm not saying that. That I personally think that it was a pretty good album. But does it compare to Street Gossip? Does it compare to My Turn? Does it compare to any other albums that you have dropped? Harder Than Ever? Harder Than Hard? It just doesn't. It just doesn't, man. It just doesn't. Merch Madness might be the step in the right direction, because I like it. It has a meaning towards it. But don't no one want the same thing to happen when you do drop an album. You're going to get your 150 plus K first week views, but is it going to last? Is it going to last months on end? Are we going to sit here months after your album drop and be like, man, this Lil Baby album was hard, we still gonna listen to it? That's the question. And you was falling down for a little bit. You was falling down. You dropped Merch Madness. This was a good song. I really do. I think this was a good song. I like it personally. I feel like y'all should check it out. Tell me how y'all feel about it. Tell me how y'all like it. But I feel as though he can drop something harder. Don't tell me because Gunna went to jail, was he your ghostwriter? You can get me some little flows, give me some low down flows. Go to lunch in the Jewish community, know what I'm saying? Like, we need that flow. We need that flow. Or something harder. Mostly scarred, harder than every single song on It's Only Me. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Whoa, better than every single song off that album. Tell me I'm lying. Humble. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying that. But can you at least have an album that can reach a standard close to It's Only Me Ever Again? And I believe in you, Dominique. I really do. Show your fans something. Show your fans what you have that we haven't even heard. Rap like the renters do. What's the TikTok? Rap like the renters do. Rap like you finna get evicted. You don't got nothing to prove to nobody. Because we gonna have our opinions at the end of the day. You done made a name for yourself. But us fans just want to know, will you ever get back to the My Turn status? Or will it go down from there? Will it go down from there? With that being said, y'all, this is the first of many episodes of the Truth Comes to Light podcast, where everything done in the dark comes to light. I'm your host, Jay Colvin. Be sure to give this video a like. Give me your opinion about my topics that I did talk about. Tell me how you feel about the podcast. You know, I don't even have a mic. I'm just talking in the camera. But once I get the mic, once I get the camera, which y'all will be here for the whole entire ride, the whole entire experience. And I will seriously love y'all for that. And once I get everything moving and everything in motion, I'm telling you right now, y'all will love it. This is just a start. You got to start from somewhere. And I'm starting in the car. But once I get everything, because of y'all and because of my hard work and y'all actually listening to what I have to say, it'll all be good. Don't worry, be happy. Be sure to check out my Real Spill Wednesdays. I will be posting them every single Wednesday. Just give me comments on what ideas I should talk about, because I have ideas. But if y'all want me to talk about any one of your ideas, any one of your life topic questions, any motivation, quotes, topics, or whatever, just give me a comment and I will try and see if I can get to them. I love y'all. Y'all have a nice night.